You done ready? We'll go get it done.
A few moments later.
Tega, now while we dey go, we go sing warrior song. Zabu zabu, eyimba eyim. Zabu, eyimba eyim. Zabu zabu, eyimba eyim. Shebi na back of this wall. Yes, attack! Fella, hope you dey get that clear there. Get them down, make them know say the champion is in town. Mommy! Tegwolo, what's happen? Go call my mama. Relationship never started. Don't break my hand.
Welcome back to the Morning Brief right here on Channels Television. So it's Valentine's Day, and you know, that argument is out there. The jury is still out there about how we should appropriately celebrate Valentine's Day. You know, especially the men would say, oh, we should celebrate love every day. But the women want a special day set aside for them to be celebrated. And of course, we're justified, aren't we? I know the women are on my side on this one. And, you know, little wonder that I'm alone wearing red on Valentine's Day, but I'll forgive them. As we now proceed to have this conversation, let's welcome one of Nigeria's most humorous, funniest, most creative comedians, Ajebo. Welcome to the Morning Brief.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Well, where's your red? You're not wearing red.
Yeah, see?
These are the issues.
Yeah, these are the issues. That's why I said you guys left me alone.
We're still mourning the Super Eagles loss. So.
They have the national awards. They're not mourning at this time. They're not mourning. Lots of land and property.
Affected my emotions, so we're not doing Valentine this year.
As if you knew where I was headed. So, how are you celebrating Valentine's Day? How should it be celebrated, Ajebo?
I think basically, like you said, personally, I think the love we celebrate love every time, you know. But like the women just want it to be like just celebrate it, just do something. So today, maybe when I get home, I think I've booked a spa treat with my wife. After which we go back home, see a movie together and hang together. That's all.
Beautiful.
Everybody will be happy. Everybody will be fine.
So it's just all talk. You're romantic at the end of it.
Well, what can I do? I'm the only man in my house. I have 3 daughters and my wife, so I have no choice.
Your vote is only one. There's majority on the other side. You're a minority.
Exactly. I have no choice. I have no choice.
Beautiful scenario. So there'll be lots of Valentines in the future in your house.
Yes. And lots of bride prize as well. Lots of bride prize. I've already placed the first one aeroplane, second one airport. I don't want too much.
You don't want too much.
The third one helicopter. Let's just manage it, you know.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that. The Ajebo daughters don't come cheap.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. We're already investing. Come on. You know, like your school fees is not cheap. You know, when I went to register my first daughter at 2, they said the school fees was 1.4 million. I said, what? They say it's play group. I said, that's rough play.
Okay, I guess there'll be more jokes ahead. But let's talk about Tegwolo.
Yeah.
My children have, you know, they have a binge on Tegwolo during the holidays especially. Yeah. And you are 7 of the characters in that cartoon. Tell us about that.
So Tegwolo is my story, first of all. When I was growing up, I was prayer point for my mom. You know, stubborn. They're stubborn as stubborn Pro Max.
But without the head.
so like I was that kid that, you know, you go to school, you come back with it, my shorts would openings in my shorts, on the knee, at the bum, you know, just because I would always play rough, tear my school uniform, and I was very, very, anything I watch, I must replicate, you know. So and at the time it was Jackie Chan, so when Jackie Chan, so I didn't just used to fight normal fight. I used to put the soundtrack here. You know? So at some point when I said I was going to do animation, I wanted to bring the character to life, you know. And then at the time the jokes were worry. So I was like, you know what, let's get the worry name. Tegwolo came, and then I had this classmate back in primary school that had bicycle. We used to call him bicycle seat head. The hair's like so we just exaggerated the ogo more, you know, and it came out beautiful, you know.
Absolutely. I know that it's a hit, not just for Nigerians here, but Nigerians in diaspora.
Actually,
when a lot of people want to, in fact, a lot of people have that. Once they come to Nigeria, the first thing they want to say is, I'm looking for the Tegwolo character, because imagine you'll see Tegwolo on the streets. And it's brilliant how you've been able to tell Tegwolo's story. And I mean, you have thousands of subscribers on YouTube. Your videos are
millions, actually.
Hundreds of thousands of...
Millions.
Sorry, millions. I meant the views. Your videos are massed from hundreds of thousands to even millions.
We have 6 to 10 million views monthly.
Wow.
And about 2 million subscribers.
And that's ongoing.
And that's ongoing. Yeah, every month there's 6 to 10 million views monthly, and then we have 1.96, almost 2 million subscribers.
Don't worry, we'll get you to 2 million. Let's get it to 2 million. So it's beautiful the work you've done, building this literally from the scratch. You've talked about the inspiration behind this, and I'm glad that this is a true story. That's what really sells, the true story. But also, when you tell the story, what are you trying to achieve, really? What are you usually trying to send across, aside humor, obviously?
Okay, so it's the African story. Everybody that watches it it's very relatable. You see yourself in the character, and we want Africans to be proud of their own. Growing up for me, most of the cartoons that we watched were foreign-based, right? And then somehow it seemed like it's the foreign ones that were genge. So there was something to talk about with, you know, when it comes to our own. Except the ones we were Tales by Moonlight, which they used illustrations and all that. So we want African kids to see themselves in the cartoons. Want them to be able to talk about their own. Oh, growing up I watched. When you say when the Western guys say they have Superman, tell them you have Tegwolo. You know, when those guys talk about Coco Melon, tell them you have Jenny and Kenny. You know, which is what the new one that we have just created. In fact, the new channel I just launched is called Jenny and Kenny. It's the learning and entertainment channel for kids with Afrofusion. Right? The characters wear beautiful Ankara. All the songs, all the nursery rhymes we have recreated with Afrobeat. I'm on piano, like it's groovy, you know, like kids should have something for them. Kids are jumping on Adult Challenge, you know, they're doing, and it's, you know, the ratings is obviously 18 and kids are dancing to it. Kids are watching Nollywood and, you know, those summer just, so we want them to have what is African, made by African, that carries the African values, right? He who pays the piper dictates the tune, right? And right now, I'm sure you guys are aware that there's a lot of, they've injected a lot of adult content in kiddies cartoons, the Western world. In fact, some of the nursery rhyme channels now have drag queens, you know, 2 daddies, 2 mommies. It's very, very pronounced. And no disrespect to their own values, but as Africans, as a father of 3 daughters, I want my kids, there's certain values I want to instill in them, and then I instill it. And it goes across my projects. Where African, Tegwolo is pidgin. It's pure pidgin, you know. And people call in and say, this is the closest my kids have to Africa. People in diaspora, you know, my kids are learning how. Because trust me, our generation of children we learn pidgin on apps. We're shielding them from these things, those realities of the street, you know. I grew up in Surulere, I'm an Ajebo boy, you know, but then my parents wanted me to have the best education. It worked out fine for me. I have a blend of both. But the way I'm guiding my children.
So you're guilty as well.
I'm guilty.
Which is why you're creating these things.
Exactly. So we need to start to infuse those values in our content and also export our culture. You know, so when people, we can start, and then the quality of animations across board, we keep improving on it so that it can stand shoulder to shoulder with any brand internationally.
So for you, what's the big picture? I know you've responded to why children is the focus. Apparently, you're trying to make sure you rewrite as much as possible. So what's the big picture for you? What do you see ahead of you with what you're building? Because I see that you're building something.
Right.
And in building this thing, there's a big picture. What is that big picture?
Basically, the big picture for me is to build the Disney for Africa. Some years ago, I had to travel to Disney to see for myself, because I kept saying, this is the dream, but sometimes you need to see. And I couldn't even finish the tour in 3 days of Disney. When I came back, I said, are you sure I will not remove the knee? And just come and said, the D's of Africa. It was so huge, but they started somewhere. Right, they started somewhere. Right now, we want to start to try to bring our characters to life. The Tegwolo character, Mama Tegwolo, we want to see how we can, you know, bring kids offline this Easter and see how, you know, I want to watch how they engage with the character. We experimented with the merchandise. Somebody wore a t-shirt and entered the market, and then kids were running up, Tegwolo, Tegwolo. So it means that there's something that we have that we can give African kids. And the big picture for me is that someday, sometime, we'll own our own Disneyland.
So when you look at the reception, and you track, who are you getting to the most, the parents or the children?
So we started off getting at the parents and youth, right? That was my target with the Tegwolo brand, because it's comedy. And then it's only kids that can give you that kind of views. It's kids. Like when they latch in it, they're the ones that will watch over and over and over and over again. So when I saw that kids were also latching on it, it was hot topic in primary and secondary schools. We're like, okay, how do we explore? If you watch some of the episodes, we started throwing in some, you know, some moral lessons. Like there's one episode where Tega, who is Tegwolo's hype man, who is more brutal, you know, but that always leaves him when he's in trouble. You know, it was like Tegwolo was trying to say he had a crush on somebody, and the girl came from London and was like, don't talk to me. I don't want to be around someone with your kind of head. And Tega said, my leader, maybe we go Russia. And Tegwolo said, no, you can't put your hand on a woman. We have to learn to be gentle boys so we grow into gentlemen. That's a message for the boy child. Everybody is concentrating on the girl child, right? But you see, if you train the boy child well, we will not have a problem, you know, in the future. So we're trying to infuse some of those things. No matter how mischievous he is, we make sure that there's a moral lesson. He doesn't get away with it. You know, he never gets away with his mischief, you know. So these are some of the things that we're imputing to make sure that, you know, and then let me talk about Jenny and Kenny a little bit. So because of how much we have seen the drive of children, we're like, you know what, let's give them something that is for them. So Jenny and Kenny, a boy and a girl, and they are just singing. So it's like the Cocomelon for Africa. I think that summarizes what it is, you know. But then we have original songs on kindness. We have songs about no bullying zone. My daughter is 3. She knows the meaning of, she understands the entire concept of bullying. Like, she uses the word, someone tried to bully me, but I stood up for myself. Like, you know, and then you try to say, don't be a bully, don't do that, don't be a bully. You know, if we start to teach these kids this thing, in the language they understand, in the trend of music is Afrobeat. So they already dance to this, to our sound, and then so that's the entire concept of Jenny and Kenny. Infuse this theme. We have songs on literally any theme that you can think of that children should be aware of.
But we need to get into your Valentine heartbreak stories as well. It's Valentine's Day. That's your beautiful family.
Yeah, we have a third now.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
beautiful.
The helicopter on the airplane.
I'm trying to look for the one that looks like Daddy there.
This is the airport.
Okay, so
the third one is the helicopter.
Helicopter.
Yeah.
So talk about some of your,
the suitors I've heard.
Valentine's experience. It's Valentine's Day, and we usually pair Valentine's with breakfast. People eating their fair share of breakfast, heartbreaks, people running. I was at the store yesterday and I saw the underwear section was still full. So I'm like, oh, thank God. The usual suspect time buying underwear this year, or they've even given up entirely.
We've skilled up.
We have told them we don't want boxers and singlet anymore.
What do you want?
I can manage a land in Banana Island though.
Will you manage the banana at least if you don't get the land in Banana Island?
And granite.
Well, Mrs. Ajebo has heard. I wonder if we have time for a bit more adventure into Tegwolo's world. I'd just like to ask one more question.
Okay.
It's normal for some African children to have very little academic prowess, and when you study Tegwolo's character, you understand why you say that you were your mom's prayer point. So, is there a resolution for Tegwolo? Maybe in one of the episodes, because here you are today, a success, despite the challenges that you had, while you were growing up. While you're preparing to answer that, let's watch, one of Tegwolo's adventures, and we'll be right back.
YP, power on top of the people. KYP, power on top of the people. My people, my constituency, I am here again. Listen to me. If you vote for me, I'm going to give you good road. I will give you light. I will build schools. I will make you happy.
Excuse me, uncle politician. I beg come make I talk to you for corner. Now your second time for office be this now. The last one, Shebi, you promise us say you go build school, you go build road. Land where you say you go use build school for us. Now there you build club. As we do like this, our transformer. Now we they use gen, they power our transformer. No need for the lie, please. I want to advise you, when you go back there, just tell us, say you want thief money. Tell us how much you want thief. Tell us our cut. Everybody is happy. We all go.
That's true.
These are the issues.
Well, Tegwolo is intelligent after all.
Yeah, actually.
Maybe you want to speak to that.
Yeah.
So this is a series I was trying to start. This was a test run. It started, these are the issues where we'll start to address several issues in society. This was just a test run to just see, and it was very well accepted. So I believe that what we have is comedy, first of all. As a comedian, you're a social commentator to address issues, right? And in whatever form of expression that you have, you should be able to talk about issues. If not, you're just going to be just that guy that makes people laugh and you're not creating any impact, So basically, what I try to do is to use the brand to create some sort of impact, and that's it, and that's one of it, So tomorrow we can talk about drugs on the street. Tomorrow we can talk about any other thing, But that's the idea of these are the issues, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I was asking if there's a resolution for Tegwolo as a character that has no academic aspiration. I remember a particular edition where he was asked to go and buy drug for his mom, and it was a disaster. I'm sure you remember, right?
So Tegwolo, like I said, it was we touched on different. It was Mark's story, and it's not like he's not good with academics. Excuse me. He just likes to play, and that was me. Like I would play. and then I'll get into the exam hall, and then I'll come home with my results. Like I can come third this term, and the next time I come 22nd. And my mom is like, how? So, but then it was obvious that I was very intelligent, and then that brings in the African mom's hard way of correction, So, and then if you watch more, you see there's an episode where Tegwolo was angry with Tega for a period. It was like, you are the reason I'm always failing. Every time, let's play. And then he started to roll with Toye, who is the class captain, and Tegwolo came first. Like nobody believed it, like they're getting better. So we rather let them know that there are children out there. That's to let them, parents and everybody, know that there are children out there that they are intelligent, but with a little more attention to work, they'll do better in class.
Right, and I think that's a very important point. I mean, this will be the love gift from parents to their children. Understand your children, spend more time with them so you know who they are. As we wind down, it's Valentine's Day. By the way, your YouTube channel, almost 2 million, right? So we need to get Ajebo to 2 million, right? So you can go subscribe.
1.96.
Yeah, 1.96. So we need to get into 2 million.
Yeah.
And I know that there's the economic angle. You make a lot of money from that as well.
Thank you, Lord.
We're not talking about that today, so they don't bill you more. But let's wind out with the Valentine special, as we wind out on the show this morning. So it's over to you, Ajebo. Maybe a story from the past, your Valentine's experience. Maybe Tegwolo's Valentine's experience.
Maybe Tegwolo's heartbreak.
Has he ever had a girlfriend?
Have I ever? Tegwolo? No. He's a child now. He doesn't have relationships. Now we get relationships. So I've not really had a major heartbreak that you now say, they serve me breakfast. We always see it coming from a mile. So we'll meet in the middle.
I like that. Sharp guy.
So we always, and then I always made sure, back in the days, I always made sure that, we settle amicably so that no swear will follow us into the future. But let me just tell you about maybe my love story of how I met my wife. So I'm from Abia State in Ohafia. From Ohafia, and if you know about our people, we have this thing where we marry ourselves a lot. In fact, Ohafia parents put pressure on their daughters to marry an Ohafia man, if you're aware of that. So I'm the third, she's the third. And if there was anybody in the family that would never fall for that pressure, it was me and her in her family. Right? So we're the outgoing, like you think I would have even married abroad or something. So I went for a show that was like 10 years ago, because we've been 10 years, but 6 years married. And, after the show, somebody that was with me met her and was talking to her, and she was like, oh, from Abia State, from Ohafia. And the guy says, oh, my friend, he says, you need to meet someone. And it's like, hey, boss, come. And I'm like, hey, she says she's from Ohafia. And I'm like, no.
Oh, no way.
No way. Ohafia doesn't have fine girls like this. And her response was, you've been meeting the wrong ones. Abaya. Anyways, at that time...
Cupid.
So at that time, her phone was already off. Mine was off. We went to Ibadan for the show. I gave her 5 complimentary cards.
Just in case?
Yes, I said, see, I've saved your number somewhere. Just in case we both lose our phones, not in case we never... Give this card to somebody, give this one to have it in 5 different places. Back up. Somehow I just felt like I was so sure I had met my wife. So it was not the half-year thing, but we got talking, and from there, we have 3 children now.
Fantastic story.
That's so sweet, actually. You have such a beautiful family. So I love to your daughters and your wife.
And don't forget to subscribe. Let's get Ajebo's YouTube channel to 2 million.
Yes.
So we're counting already. Thank you so much, Ajebo. Awesome segment. So many lessons.
Thank you.
See it from afar. So these are things. So you see what I mean by love responsibly. All right. The next leg of our conversation is up next now, where we serenade you on Valentine's Day. It's that surprise we've got for you. So stay with the Morning Brief. We'll be right back.